Hey guys, Shub here. So I'm going to share with you today a 4-step framework to help you go from being a clinician to becoming a founder. Now, if you're going to take on this journey, you probably got a vision for something that you want to make happen in the world. There's a problem that you're looking to solve, and you want to do it in a way that you can monetize, but you have to kind of get from the start to finish of solving that problem. It's a tricky journey, it's a slippery slope, and you want to have a bit of a framework and some guidance to get around to it. So when I work both in the emergency department and with my clients, I rely a lot on frameworks. And today I want to share with you one of my favorites. It's called the Double Diamond Approach by the Design Council. And using this framework will allow you to go from where you are right now as a clinician to exploring a bunch of options, choosing the right solution for your audience in a way that allows you to monetize it successfully. So today, here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about the Double Diamond framework from the Design Council. We're going to talk about how to use it on your journey from clinician to founder. And we're going to talk about some of the key elements that you're going to get out of it at the end. All right. So the Double Diamond approach. So I don't know if you've heard about this before, but we're going to be drawing this as we go along. So the Design Council is one of the organizations that brings us design thinking, and it talks about the double diamond approach to ignore my drawing. It talks about the double diamond approach one can take when it comes to problem solving. So there's 2 diamonds to problem solving, and you can use this for kind of any challenge in your life, really. You can use it for any sort of problem solving, especially when you want to incorporate out of the box thinking to problem solving design. Double diamond is a fantastic approach. And basically it's got, as you can see here, 2 diamonds. The first diamond represents divergent thinking, followed by convergent thinking. And then you do a second cycle of it once again of divergent thinking and convergent thinking. Now you might be asking, what does that mean? What does divergent thinking and convergent thinking mean? And we're gonna get into that just very shortly. So before getting into what that is, I just want to also highlight that we're going to be splitting this down the middle. This is going to be the problem section, and this is going to be the solution section. All right. The idea is that, you start with the problem on the left-hand side, and then you diverge out to assess what the problem is, and you converge into a problem statement, and then you diverge out on the solution side to look at what all the possible solutions could be, and you converge in to determine what your product is going to be. So in this case, we start with a circle and with a square. How do we get there is through this double diamond approach. All right, so what I want to do is break it down into 4 steps. So this here's going to be step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So step 1 really is going to look like this divergent process, right? What do you do in that divergent process? So if you're a clinician, what you want to be looking for is a problem that you can solve. And the idea is that you want to get to the right problem that you can solve, that is valuable for your audience, that is easy for you to monetize, that's in alignment with your vision as well. And in this phase, what I recommend you do, you look back to past versions of yourself and you see what problems did you have, what challenges did you face, what hurdles did you cross, and how did you overcome them. You can make a list of those. Those past selves or past versions of you are basically your niche. So if you solve problems for yourself in the past, you can go ahead and do the same thing for people who might be facing the same problems now, and you can share with them the expertise and the ways in which you could do that, right? So in phase 1, you're going to be expanding out. You'll be making a list. You're looking at multiple different options. So you're starting from one thing, saying like, I want to solve one problem, but you're going to expand out and look at all of the problems you could solve. Step 2, you're going to go back into converging. So you're going to converge down. And what you want really to do is to converge into solving the right problem for your audience. So you've got a list of 6 or 8 past problems or past hurdles that you've solved. So for me, it was things like the PLAB examination, coming to the UK, finishing my exams, getting into training in the UK, getting a management consulting job, becoming a quality improvement practitioner, becoming a coach, becoming a founder, launching my business. All of these things were various things that I've solved for myself along the way. And now what you want to do is narrow down to just one. How do you do that? So in this phase, what you're going to be doing is things like market surveys. So you're going to be having a conversation with the people that you serve. You're going to be having alignment checks. So you're going to be looking at what you want to achieve, and can this particular problem, which of these problems can help you achieve them. One of the things I did for myself was to make a table of the various things that mattered to me, and I rated them from 1 to 5. And I kind of said, do they have the can I solve their problem? Yes or no. I said, do they have the ability to pay me? Yes or no. And then I said, would I be willing to do this even if they didn't pay me, as a measure of saying, how much do I actually genuinely enjoy this? Yes or no. And you can answer this yes or no, or on a scale of 1 to 5, and then take a total score across multiple different types of problems that you've identified, and use that as a way to figure out what's the one thing that you can get started with. This doesn't have to be your final problem that you're solving, but what's the one problem that aligns with the vision of the change you want to create in the world, that is something that you enjoy doing, something you're passionate about, something that you're skilled in, and something that people can pay you for. So it's kind of like your ikigai. You can use a table, you can use the ikigai questions as well to figure out what's the one thing. So that creates phase 1. So you've looked at the problem, you've looked at multiple problems narrowed down to a single problem. That brings us to stage 3. Stage 3, you're now starting to look at solutions. So you have a problem, and eventually you want to give them a product, but you're at this phase, what you got to do is diversify. So you're once again doing divergent thinking. So you're spreading out. You've got a particular problem, you're looking at all of the ways in which you can solve that problem, right? Is it through a software product? Is it through one-on-one coaching? Is it through a group program? Is it through educational courses? Is it through writing a book? Is it through starting a podcast? What are all of the ways in which you can solve the problem, right? That's what you're doing in phase 3. You're gathering information on what all of the possible solutions are. Now, not all of the solutions will be things that get you excited. Not all of those solutions will be things that people would pay for. And so that's what happens in phase 4. In phase 4, you evaluate all your options and you kind of go back down. You go back down to picking the one that makes most sense, the one that you can get started with as soon as possible, the one that in your market survey people said that they would want. And then you come back to picking one solution. And essentially, you go ahead and you create your minimum viable product at this phase. You create your MVP and you test and you test and you test and you test and you improve and you improve and you improve, right? At the end of the day, what you're looking for is simply one problem, one product to solve the problem, and one person to solve the problem for. So you want one person, one problem, and one product for them. So hopefully by going through this double diamond approach, 4 stages, you're going to find that for yourself. All right, enjoy.